Hello and welcome to Sense Business YouTube channel. Today we'll understand stakeholder conflict. So the relationship between the various stakeholder groups is complex one and conflict can arise. The firm needs to consider carefully the interests of each different stakeholder groups and their potential objectives. They also need to look at level of power each group has and the extent therefore to which they influence the firm's strategic approaches. Different stakeholders might have different objectives and priorities. The different interests of stakeholder groups may cause conflict. These potential conflict and differing objectives are summed up in this presentation. So let's begin. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. So stakeholder groups. Red, anything in red, which we'll discuss in this PowerPoint presentation, are your internal stakeholders. Anything in blue, which we'll discuss in this PowerPoint presentation, are your external stakeholders. Employees are your internal stakeholders. Possible conflict would be employees want better terms and conditions and a safe working environment. This increases costs and may be resisted by managers and stakeholders. So conflict would be employees and shareholders because one wants to spend very little amount of money and the other one wants better terms and conditions. Managers, another internal stakeholder. Managers may be on performance related bonuses which can be improved by reducing the workforce or taking risk which may not be in the interests of other stakeholders. So the problem or the conflict here is that the managers want to meet targets, and sometimes to meet targets you need to make sure that your team is very driven, and to do that you might need to not cut corners, but you might need to try something that you have not tried before, so taking a risk, and not everybody will like that. So therefore employees might conflict with managers due to that. Shareholders are your other internal stakeholders. Possible conflict: shareholders want maximum profit for high dividends and therefore low costs. One way of reducing cost is to minimize staff payments through lower wages or redundancy. So you straight away notice that shareholders and staff will have conflict because one wants better terms and conditions and want to have a relaxed and positive workplace, whereas the other one wants to have a minimum staff with minimum costs to have more money in their own pocket. So now we're going to go to our external stakeholders. So possible conflict: suppliers want a high price from the firm. This adds to the costs of production and makes price higher, upsetting customers and potentially making the firm uncompetitive and unprofitable. Objective is to keep supplying. Risk might be high or low depending on the number of customers. GIT and preferred suppliers increase the risk. Power: as for customers, suppliers may be strong as a stakeholder group if you have a unique product and specific requirement from supplier. Customer is another external stakeholder. So possible conflict could be customers want a high quality product at low price. This may reduce profit levels and opportunity for high dividends and increases in wages. They may also want to be extended They might also want an extended credit period, which may upset suppliers who get paid late as a result and can cause cash flow problems in the firm. So objective would be maintenance of supply of product. Risks are small, unlikely that the product is unique and therefore customers have a choice to go elsewhere. Power, collectively high but individually low. No customers, no business. Local community, another external customers. The possible conflict could be the local community want the business to be good neighbors and contribute in some way, such as sponsoring community activities, offering staff expertise to local projects. All of this may be expensive. The government. Objectives might be local government want to improve the local environment and to provide a range of services for residents and its client groups. Central government will want to promote sustainable growth and improvements in standards of living. Power, potentially significant as the legislator. They can control all business activities through the law they pass. Pressure groups is another external stakeholder. Objective could be to represent their particular interests and their members on relevant issues. Power can be very high where the firm does not take account of their particular interest in their activities. Their actual power might depend on their lobbying influence with government or their ability to influence the media. And the final stakeholder is competition or your competitors. Their objectives will depend on their particular strategy and maybe dominate the market, but more likely they are interested in building market share and potentially and profitability. Risks could be depends on type of market. If the firm is small but competitors are large, you might be vulnerable. Power depends on how many there are. It might be worth considering working together. Thank you for watching and make sure you subscribe to this channel. I will see you on the next video.